Howdy YouTube, Jacob here. Welcome back to the channel. And as I mentioned in my previous update video is that I was going to finally start doing some of my tournament summaries. I mentioned this in the 2020 recap that I wanted to start producing that for you. So I kind of wanted to talk about the big disc golf weekend that I had. This past weekend, I played in the annual Claydog Memorial, both singles and doubles, singles on Saturday and doubles on Sunday. Unfortunately, was not good enough to get the win, but I do want to talk about the rounds. Hey guys, Jake here. Just wanted to interrupt here real quick. Just to explain that this is a two-part video talking about both rounds. The video is gonna be kind of lengthy, so to cut it down, we're gonna have two parts. Part one, we'll discuss the singles play that happened this past Saturday, and part two, we'll talk about the doubles that happened this past Sunday. Thanks guys, let's get back to the action. I have a general goal for the year of, like, you know, I feel I'm playing well enough. I'm playing in the intermediate bracket right now, and I think as soon as my rating gets over 900, I'm gonna go up and start playing the advanced bracket. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And then as far as I start getting closer and closer to 950 is when I might finally just make the leap and play open. If I could do that by the end of the year, that'd be great. But for right now, that's kind of my goal structure and how I'm going to treat the year. So currently playing intermediate, my current rating is 867. So not very good, but you know, it's going up. We're improving. So that's really, you know, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon, and you only keep getting better by keep playing. So to start off with Saturday singles, we are at Veterans Park in Arlington, Texas. Again, the Claydog Memorial, hosted by the Chain Wreck crew and Arlington Disc Golf Association, and those guys are awesome. They always put on good events. Great group of guys. They put on the VPO about around November timeframe every year. That tournament is getting bigger and bigger as well. Great group of guys. If you run into them or, you know, stop by their shop, order anything online, by all means support them. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. They're just a good group of guys, and you know, I got to help support the local scene. Very first round at the singles for Veterans Park. How did it go? Well, I shot my personal best ever on that course. We were playing from just the normal tees. Baskets were in the short positions for the first round, so obviously very scoreable conditions. Definitely the wind wasn't that bad either in round one, so I end up shooting a 1 under for the round, and honestly it's the first time ever I've shot under par at Veterans Park. Usually I mess up a hole here and there, or, you know, if you've played the course, there are some holes where you can have brutal rollaways and stuff, and it just kind of trashes your round. And round one, that didn't happen to me. And really the saving grace for this round for me was up shots. It's probably something that's not talked enough about in disc golf. In my game right now, unfortunately, I'm really shaky on the putting greens right now. My putt is not feeling very great. I'm not going to when I'm lining up putts, I'm not going up there with a ton of confidence. And so up shots are really what, you know, I kind of live or die by my up shots right now. If I get it super close to the basket, I don't really have to putt, and that's kind of the money zone for me right now to score. And that's exactly what happened in round one. I had only one putt the entire round that was actually longer than 10 feet, and that one was maybe a 15-footer. Everything else was within 4 feet. It was really kind of absurd putting everything up to the basket. So that round ended up being a 955 rated round. Just kind of blew me away. So I guess backtracking just briefly, kind of what I was saying, my division and my rating and how I'm going to kind of proceed through the year. I had a goal after the last few tournaments I've played, which have just kind of been just C-tier flex starts. You know, I had been playing rec for those. My goal at that point is that I never shot over a 900 rated round in a tournament up to this point. And so I was kind of making a goal for myself to do that. And it turns out this first round on Saturday did that. I kind of just smashed it out of the park. Again, a 955 rating, which, you know, to the pro is trash, but for me getting better, this is a really big deal. So the end of round one is that there's a tie at the top, me and then a really cool dude that is playing. His name was Anthony. Him and I were both tied at 1 under par and leading the intermediate division after round one, as I just mentioned. And this is something new to me. I've never ever played a 2-round tournament, and I've never been leading going into round 2, so definitely new territory, new ground for me to be in. And I think it kind of got in my head, if I'm being honest here. When I came out for round 2, you know, I think I was trying to play to protect the lead instead of playing the way that I played in round 1, which was just try to play as well as I can. I was definitely trying, but you know, I'm sure some of you guys know, playing competitive sports, and you know, like when the pressure starts building on you, like kind of what do? Do you stay aggressive, or do you start backing off a little bit? And unfortunately, I think it just being new kind of intimidated me a little bit, and I was backing off some of my shots that I was being aggressive with in round 1. That in combination with the wind definitely picked up for round 2, probably added 10 to 15 miles an hour, and it was kind of that intermittent like gusting that it tends to occur down in Texas. It's not a sustained wind, it's just kind of the wind, you know. It's exactly what I mentioned. You got a gust, then it's dead for a couple minutes, and then you get another gust, or like 30 seconds another gust comes in, you know what I mean? And it made it kind of really unpredictable for some of the drives. And I definitely, for where we're starting, I was starting up in the field where you have no protection from the trees or the hillsides at all. You're completely exposed. So that in combination with kind of tentative play led to some pretty early bogeys. And then the guy who was in third place going into the round absolutely smashed. He ended up winning the division. Matthew, I'm gonna butcher his last name, Matthew Dion. I mean, that guy has a cannon, one of the biggest arms I've seen in intermediate. I mean, he picked up some birdies on holes I haven't seen before. That guy just was throwing out of his mind. I think out of the first 6 holes, and he was like, I think he hit 4 out of the first 6 holes birdies, and I think I bogeyed I bogeyed like 3 out of the first 6. So definitely not the start I was looking for. And then what I was mentioning with the wind picking up, some of my approaches that were really crisp and tight in round 1 kind of leaked a little bit. Still, if I, again, not approaching the putting green with confidence. I mean, I think if I was putting well, these wouldn't have been problems. I was still putting myself well inside the circle, but the wind, the lack of confidence at the putting basket, I missed some putts that would have been birdies, and even a hole. I think there was one hole for sure, maybe 2, that what should have been just a cleanup par ended up turning into a bogey, just because I don't know what it is right now. I'm just kind of mentally rattled when it comes to the putting green in tournament play. Something I really got to work on and figure out. Really no excuse for that. We were playing the mid pins. Yeah, we were playing the mid pins for round 2, so a little bit longer, but not the long pins. But I ended up shooting a +7 for that round. Really not good, considering I just shot a 1 under the previous round. So that round rating was an 896. Still some good things to take away. Both rounds are above my rating, so yay. There's some improvement there. First time leading a tournament ever, or being tied for a lead, so yay. I really did throw well for the most part. I really do believe that. It was just basically putts is what kind of cost me. So I got to get back on the putting green. I just develop a stroke that I can consistently repeat. I think that's the biggest problem. I'll have something dialed in one week, and then the next week I'll try to do it again, and if not, so I mean, it's possible I'm trying too hard, and I need to just, you know, relax and get a nice fluid release. That is something that I need to work on. So I ended up finishing +6 for the tournament, and that was good for a 3rd place finish. So and good for some cash too. You know, some merch, some in-store merch, all that good jazz. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That's going to do it for part 1. Be sure to tune into part 2, posted just after this video, to discuss some doubles action that happened this past Sunday. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. If you got any questions for me, post in the comment section below. And with that, you know, I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.